There are growing calls for Judge Chutkan to recuse herself from the Trump case. Fact-checking website Snopes.com backing up new reports that the Obama-appointed judge worked at the same law firm as Hunter Biden, a liberal-leaning law firm that represented Al Gore in the 2000 election, along with other high-level Democrats. They also reportedly worked with Burisma while Hunter Biden worked there as well. Again, Judge Chutkan also denied President Trump executive privilege in yet another lawsuit.
But this one, she's overseeing Trump's third indictment. Again, an Obama-appointed judge who worked at a firm with the son of the current president, President Biden. Several of Trump's attorneys have expressed concern about the chance of the former president getting a fair trial. Trump taking to Truth Social, writing, "There is no way I can get a fair trial with the judge assigned to the ridiculous freedom of speech / fair elections case. Everybody knows this, and so does she. We will be immediately asking for recusal of this judge on very powerful grounds and likewise for venue change out of D.C." So again, we'll keep an eye on that. Attorneys for the former president and the DOJ expected to meet later today. This over the proposed protective order. We'll be watching right here on Newsmax. Meantime, the former president, Donald Trump, will be hosting a rally in New Hampshire. Again, it's his first since last week's indictment, so we're going to get a sense of how he's feeling today.
Yeah, Trump scheduled to deliver remarks at a high school this afternoon during his fourth trip to the Granite State, as he's hoping to garner even more support than he already has for the race for the White House. Today's rally coming after pleading not guilty to the 4 counts in his third criminal indictment for his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election results launched by special counsel Jack Smith. For this topic, we'll bring in Matt Lieberman, former U.S. Georgia Senate candidate, and Karoline Leavitt is a spokeswoman for Make America Great Again. Thank you both for coming on. We appreciate that. Karoline, and I'll start with you on this. Talk to us about this, the latest indictment. Obviously, this going on, how it affects the president's campaign. Seemingly not, if you look at the polls. Also, in terms of this rally that we're mentioning, will you be there, and what can be expected by the former president today?
Yes, I will be there. President Trump is on his way to the great state of New Hampshire for those several times in the last month. He's been here to pay attention to the great people of the first in the nation primary state. There's a lot of excitement for his rally today, and a new poll out in New Hampshire shows that he has a strong 34-point lead over the rest of the field, and that's because the people of New Hampshire are wise. They pick our presidents, as the saying goes, because they focus and understand policy. And when it comes to policy, not Joe Biden, not Ron DeSantis, Chris Christie, or any of these other contenders can hold a candle to Donald Trump's record of achievement. When it comes to our economy, unemployment was at a record low during the Trump years here in New Hampshire. Donald Trump took specific executive action to help our New Hampshire industries, like our lobstermen, which Joe Biden has rolled back, and now families are suffering. When it comes to the border, we've seen a massive increase in Chinese fentanyl in our communities. Overdoses just increased by 11% over the last year. During the Trump years, they hit a record low. And so people understand their lives were better under Donald Trump's leadership. That's why he has this dominant position in the Republican primary, and there is a lot of excitement for his visit here today.
Yeah, Newsmax, again, is going to keep an eye on that rally, and we'll bring the highlights to our viewers later today. As you mentioned, sort of what a 2024 race could look like. Might it be a rematch of what we saw in 2020? Rasmussen has some new polling out. Again, this one has to do with President Biden. It takes a look at the likelihood that President Biden has committed high crimes and misdemeanors since his election. 52% of respondents saying that was likely. Let's move on to a poll about impeachment here. This is whether or not Congress should begin impeachment proceedings against President Biden. 38% responded yes. And then there's this one about whether or not it might actually happen. How likely is Congress to pursue the impeachment of President Biden? 54% say it's unlikely. Now, again, this is Rasmussen Reports. And keep in mind, we take polls, of course, with a grain of salt. But it is interesting, Matt Lieberman, to kind of get a sense of where the country, or at least these respondents, are viewing the current man in office. Your thoughts on what stands out to you here?
Well, it is further confirmation that the country is not happy with the political landscape presented to them. They're not happy with President Biden, although in many ways the country's doing quite well. They see him as a weak leader, as a person who struggles to get through basic acts of the day, and they don't like Trump either, although As Karoline indicated, clearly there are some people who love Trump. There are fewer people who love Biden. But the American people are not looking forward to this matchup. Unfortunately, it seems likely that they will get it.
All right, we'll leave it right there. We appreciate the time of Matt Lieberman and Karoline Leavitt. Thank you both for coming on. We appreciate it.